what is the advantage of ICT in teaching and learning?
The advantage of ICT in teaching and learning. Actually, the technology not replace the technology not replace the whole world. It's like entertain student to study about something and learn before enter the class, and I think they have more interest lah untuk faham tentang mata pelajaran lah sebelum menghadapi peperiksaan.
Okay, so everything has a pros and cons. So what is the disadvantages of ICT in teaching and learning?
Disadvantages, number one is addiction. Number two is addiction, and also the setup of in order to develop one system, you need a lot of idea, a lot of determination, you see. So I think that is the cons of the development.
The third question is what is the example of application of ICT or VR in teaching and learning?
We have the VR rowing simulator, you know, like kayak. Rowing simulator, and also we have the cycling simulator. And also we have this VR architecture virtual lab. So it is an example of the ICT.
Okay. So the fourth question is that in your opinion, what is the future of ICT or VR in teaching and learning?
I think in the future we already have the multiplayer features with the metaverse and avatar that you can communicate and share information in the virtual world.
In the virtual world. So the last question is that what can we do to prepare ourselves well with the development of ICT and VR?
I know. Just truly understand the concept of programming. The concept of programming, like public, private, and also the function. You need to understand about that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Alright.
I have for you. The first question will be, what is the advantage of ICT in teaching and learning?
ICT, the advantage of ICT in teaching. There are various or numerous advantages of ICT into teaching and learning. Let's say one, you can use ICT if you're conducting a face-to-face class. It could be used as a teaching aid. You can use a computer or any kind of gadget such as phones or tablets as a medium for teaching and learning. That's one, how you use ICT in teaching and learning. Or if you are doing an asynchronous teaching and learning process, so you might have the students go back home and do some exercises or homeworks, do some reading, information searching. That's how you do it if asynchronous. Or if in another situation where you are conducting an online session, synchronous online session, online classroom through WebEx, Zoom, Google Classroom. So that's one way how you could use ICT to deliver and also to do formative assessments to your students, do some activities so that they could improve their learning performance.
Make it a lot more flexible. That leads me to my second question. What would be the disadvantage of ICT in teaching?
Probably the main disadvantage, if we look into Okay. If you look into usage of ICT, probably one of the main disadvantage is the cost of obtaining devices. Okay, not all students or not all families are fortunate enough to have their own, let's say, PC or laptops, any devices or gadgets for them to use in teaching and learning process. Another thing is probably if we look into the local issues, the network connection. Okay. Sometimes there are places, certain places, not everywhere, but there are places where the internet connection is still weak, so that could cause problem in using ICT for teaching.
But all of these disadvantages could be curable, right?
Yeah, curable. Yeah.
Then my third question would be, is your research an example of teaching and learning through ICT?
Of course. This is how we deliver our module. This is our module, Modul Keluarga Sejahtera Negeri Johor. So this is developed, we produce this with the collaboration from Yayasan Pengulangan Keluarga Darul Takzim. Under the Exco of Women, Youth and Family, I think. So from there, they requested so that the module can be accessed and could be delivered to the public, to the community, using online technology or using ICT. So from there, we developed this move for Modul Keluarga Sejahtera Negeri Johor. So that's the biggest part of our innovations.
I see. My fourth question would be, in your opinion, what is the future of ICT in teaching and learning?
Okay, there's a vast future for ICT in teaching and learning, because if we look to our local situation, probably since COVID, since the lockdown, we were forced to use ICT. Not that we didn't use it before COVID, but since COVID, we can see that how almost all kinds of classes were conducted online. So since then, we could see that many departments, we can see many organizations, even schools, be it tertiary education like universities, secondary schools or primary schools, even kindergarten. They have adapted with the usage of ICT in teaching and learning in classroom. So I believe that there are so many advantages that can be applied in teaching and learning by using ICT, and there's so many things that we can do in the future using ICT in teaching and learning.
It's way too broad.
Yes.
Then my fifth question, the last question, would be, what can we do to prepare ourselves well within the development of ICT in teaching and learning?
Okay, one of the main preparation is knowledge, of course. You need to have knowledge, you need to have the skills on how to use ICT, the basic skills such as how to browse for information. Some people just don't have the basic knowledge on how to search for information, how do you validate information which is a reliable kind of information or hoax or whatsoever. And then secondly, probably the skills, the knowledge on how to use particular or specific softwares or applications in using a computer or ICT device. So that, I think, is the main preparation for everyone before we can move into using ICT for everything, and of course teaching and learning.
Alright, that will be all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now that we have discussed the definition of resilience, let's dive into the characteristics that resilient individuals
The first is, what is the advantages of ICT in teaching and learning?
Or let's play a guessing game instead. Of renowned,
the
resilient people
advantage
to
of
learn.
ICT in
I have one
teaching
quick
and
for you.
learning, which
For the
we
person who get the answer
can
right,
make
okay, this is
collaboration and communication with like outside
Anish, please
our
show.
state or
Let me introduce a
outside
wonderful
the
game. The
country.
huge yellow
Like we
dinosaur.
can
You see
here
that?
collaborate with China
Who bounces every time you try to
improve our
compress it.
ICT in teaching and learning.
See, I like the never
Through
give up
internet,
expression
like
on his face.
Meet, Zoom and other
Show the
apps.
next slide. You see the
So
face?
the second question is, what is
Okay, are you ready?
the advantage of ICT in
Good,
teaching?
my pretty assistant, Dr. Him is there. We'll give you the prize and pass you the mic if you got the answer. Ready? Let's get
We
started.
need to prepare ourselves
Okay.
to know about the
Yes,
ICT.
this.
So
You got
like
this.
he was arrested and imprisoned in 1962 and released from prison in 1990, spending 28 years in prison.
More time
He was charged with sabotage
learn
and
about the ICT.
conspiracy to overthrow the government.
ICT and
He's known as the father of the nation in
Yes.
South Africa,
So
but
the
he won
changes
the
of
Nobel
ICT
Peace
need
Prize in
to
1993. Wow,
ourselves
here's
need
the answer.
we need to prepare ourselves
Need to follow it
yes
every
follow
day.
up the
Who is he?
So
Okay, pass. Any mic there?
question
There's
is,
no mic
what
there?
is the example of
Oh, mic. Okay,
application
thank
of
you.
ICT in teaching and learning? You can make it with the
You got it right? What's the answer?
for ICT like
Yes.
product is used
It is?
making by the Lego.
Nelson?
So the
Mandela.
Lego is
Congratulations.
one application of ICT which they have like
Yeah.
teach about
Congratulations,
programming,
Samuel.
coding and else. Okay, beside
Okay.
that the simple
Let's
one
move on to the
is like
second figure.
Canva,
It's a she.
website.
She had a difficult childhood with her mother suffering from multiple sclerosis and her father leaving the family when she was
next
young.
question is, in your opinion,
She began writing
what
on
is
the typewriter. Do you know a
future of
typewriter?
ICT in teaching?
When we did our
Okay,
first
so
degree,
in
we
future
actually
of
used typewriter for all our
I
assignments,
think
so you can guess how
more
old I am.
related to AR
And was leading on the government grant. She was rejected by 12 publishers before her book was finally accepted. 12 publishers, mind you.
So
Her book has been translated into over 80 languages and has sold over 500 million copies worldwide. She is the first person to become a billionaire by writing books. J.K. Rowling.
we can
Wow,
see
you got it right. You got it first.
the real item
Wow, you're so
by
fast. So you ran towards my beautiful assistant there.
we see the
Okay, congratulations. May I know your name?
just scan the picture.
My name is XJ.
So the last
Okay,
question,
congratulations, actually.
what we can do to
Okay,
prepare
now the third one,
well with
more to come, right?
the
Okay,
of
this is the last
ICT
one.
in teaching and learning. Since you
See
say
who
that
knows
like,
this
just now you
resilient
say the technology is
girl.
going up there.
She was sexually abused by cousin,
from this,
uncle, and
I
other
think
family friends when she was a
follow
child.
up the
She became pregnant at the age of 14.
have
She gave birth to a son
now lah,
prematurely, but he died
now
shortly
we
after birth.
our country
She was fired from her first job as a television reporter. She has been awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Peabody Award, and the National Medal of Arts. She is an American talk show host, actress, producer, and a philanthropist. Who is she?
Do you have any example like how to improve?
It's Oprah. Wow, you got it right.
I think we need to learn ourselves lah. We need to
Congratulations. Yes,
robotics,
she is Oprah.
programming, and other else about the ICT.
Like always follow
The
the
common
rules.
characteristics of these resilient people
Yes.
are traits like resilience,
That's all for
adaptability,
Okay,
and
thank you.
My first question is, what is the advantage of ICT in teaching and learning?
I think salah satu kelebihan dalam ICT adalah dapat membantu guru-guru untuk lebih memudahkan untuk menerangkan kepada murid-murid.
The next question is, what is the disadvantage of ICT in teaching and learning?
Saya rasa untuk disadvantage mungkin internet sekarang kan dah banyak perkara-perkara yang tak berfaedah. Mungkin itu adalah antara salah satu disadvantage. Mungkin kalau kedua, kalau macam gunakan aplikasi kami ni, mungkin kalau terlalu bergantung kepada teknologi, mungkin ia akan mengganggu hujung-hujung pembelajaran.
The next question is, what is the example of application of ICT in teaching and learning based on your research?
Things that we have been talking about since our keynote
So
today.
this is our
It's about resilience
innovation
education
for
and it deals
year
a lot
2
with
pendidikan jasmani.
understanding
So in this we
mental
can
health and its relation with resilience education.
video penerangan
While
dalam
maybe some of among our audience might have questions, please allow me
Video
to
penerangan
throw my questions first because
tentang lokomotor.
I'm dying to know the answer.
And
So
this is
I saw
pertunjukan
your
animasi
slide just
untuk
now.
lakuan
There are
lokomotor.
some
Ini mungkin
initiatives about resilience
lakuan yang
education.
biasa.
And your
Kalau
background is
macam
in
ni.
educational psychology.
Okay,
If
mungkin
you may elaborate
sesetengah
in
guru
your
yang sudah berusia tak
experience
boleh nak
where we
buat
are today
lakuan seperti ini,
in promoting
mungkin
resilience
dengan animasi ini
education,
murid-murid boleh
either in
melihat dan
schools
melakukannya.
or is it in higher education institutions in Malaysia in specific where we are in promoting or increasing awareness about resilience education, if you may respond to that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the question from Prof.
This is how our apps being used.
Okay, that's a good question.
The fourth question is, in your opinion, what is the future of the ICT in teaching and learning based on your research?
for based on our apps. Maybe for now you can see that hanya satu topik saja. Mungkin lepas ni kami boleh tambah dalam setiap topik dalam pendidikan jasmani.
Okay. The final question is, what we can do to prepare ourselves well with the development of ICT in teaching and learning?
Mungkin kita boleh meningkatkan ilmu kita tentang teknologi supaya kita tidak ketinggalan zaman.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, what is your name and profession?
Okay, my name is Architect Nur Shahida. I'm a lecturer in the program of Architecture, Faculty of Built Environment and Surveying.
Can you give a brief introduction to your idea or project?
Okay, so for this project, what I did is that I am implementing virtual reality technology as a teaching aid for architectural design studio. So we use VR for the students to explore the spaces, to study their case studies as a reference and so on, to enhance their ideas before they finalize the design.
So what are the advantages of this idea?
Okay, one of the advantages is active learning, explorations of active learning where students can get the experience of one-to-one skill of a building that is not yet built, building that previously in their mind, in their imaginations, and also building it that is already on site. So which means by using this VR and specific applications, students can travel the world without any flight ticket.
Oh, I see. I understand.
So you want to change your course or not?
Not really. I'm studying graphics, so it has some VR has some relation with my course.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
So what are the disadvantages of this project? Because I hear a lot of, it sounds very compelling, but there must be some disadvantages, right?
Of course. There's not really disadvantages to me, but it's more like a challenge. Okay, one of it is the software and hardware, where for the software, most of the software is very expensive for the VR integrations, and also the hardware, because you need a good computer, a good graphic, what we call?
Graphics card.
Yes, graphics card with a lot of things must be good in order for you to run the model, because the model is very heavy. If not, then there's going to be lagging and so on. Another thing is internet. You need a good internet connections, because with UTM Wi-Fi, there's a lot of limitations, because there's a firewall prohibited you to run any gaming software and platform. VR is using gaming.
Yeah, I assume like Minecraft or stuff like that.
So what we did is that I use broadband, we use our own hotspots to run during the teaching lesson.
So what do you think is the future for ICT in teaching and learning?
Okay, to me, what I did is just the snippets or the beginning to give the sparks to the students, because in this IR 4.0 we need to go align with the industrial revolution. So VR is one of it, because it is already specified in the HPSN. HPSN is Hala 7 Pendidikan Seni Bina Negara 2030. So we must include all this technology in the teaching and learning, because in future, when students work, when they already become a practicing architect, this is one of the tools for them to communicate with the client, with the developer, with the end user, so that they will reduce any variation, any changes on site. So it's a good thing in the future.
You will make work more efficient and faster.
Yes. So it will be a bit complicated at the beginning, but towards the end you might solve a lot of problems and issues on site.
I see. Well, what can all of us do to prepare ourselves for the future in ICT and learning?
For you guys to prepare, one of it is money, of course, because nothing comes for free nowadays. You need to invest, because moving forward with the technology means you need a lot of investment. So that's why at the moment in the faculty also, in our department, we only have one. We are set.
Oh, this is the only one?
Yes. So you can imagine how we conduct it, but it is not a problem, because for architecture design studio, we run it in a small group. Per workplace, we call it, the group we call it a workplace. Each workplace is around 10 to 15 students. So we run it so you can take turn and so on lah. So still manageable, but if you can have more, which means we can have better imaginations with the students.
All right, that's all. Thank you for your time.
All right, welcome.
All right, thank you.